Hi, Crafty Nanny Cola here. Sorry it's been a while, but with Christmas and then 2 birthdays after Christmas, it's just a lot to try to do a YouTube video too. But anyways, I'm going to have a cousin gnome making party for my great-grandkids and my grandkids who are adults. And so this video is going to show you actually how to make a kit. So I'm not going to glue anything together. I am going to do all of the sewing. This is sewed, so if you don't, you can, with most of it, you could just go ahead and glue the seams together if you wanted to. But I prefer to sew them. So this is, like I said, this is about doing a kit and putting it together. And this is how it turned out. And this is all just pinned together. And I am going to make some shoes for some of the gnomes in case they want to do them, but that will be on a separate video. I do have one up there if you want to know how to make quick shoes. I already have one up there that you can watch. So without further ado, so what you will need is, I got a lot of stuff here, sorry. You're going to need embellishments and stuff, but I'll get to those in a minute. Okay, so you're going to need approximately 8x8 piece of paper to cut out your pattern. Another 5-inch piece of paper to cut out your bottom of your body. And then you will need an 8x16 piece of whatever color felt you're going to make the body. And then I just picked this stuff up at Walmart and Dollar Tree. Some of it, it's like $1.25 now at Dollar Tree, but I paid 98 cents for some of this ribbon at Walmart. It's always nice to have the string and some of these smaller rubber bands if you have them, just to help hold things together. Different embellishments. These were Dollar Tree. It wasn't all these. This is more than one package. Some more ribbon I got at Dollar Tree. Socks if you want to make the hat out of a sock. And I got these at Dollar Tree. This one has a sloth on it. And then the other ones are just, these have little gnomes on it. And this one you probably have to use for a hat because because it's the shorter socks, but it was the only ones with the gnomes. So socks, and then of course you'll need the noses, and I did send for the pom-pom-like noses that Patty, who makes gnomes, recommended. So I got those. Showed you the ribbon. And then I've got a couple of these. All Dollar Tree also. Just in case. And then this is from Joanne. And I got the dogs. So it's heart woof woof. And these little bicycles. I have a thing about bicycle fabric. And any kind of world fabric I love. And this one has the sparkle in. And this one has the sparkle in. And this is dogs too. And then the heart has the sparkle in. So this was all $4.99 a yard. I think the sale is probably off now though. And you'll need your glue gun and your scissors, rulers, you know, the normal stuff. You'll need rice or the pellets for stuffing, and you will need fiber fill for the rest of the stuffing. So those are the things you need. If there's anything else, if you're going to make shoes, then you will need the little shoes. The little shoes like this from Dollar Tree, if you're going to make shoes. You'll also need extra felt if you're going to make hands. You can make these with or without hands. It's up to you. You can also, a lot of times for the feet, I just use the hearts. These hearts that you get at Dollar Tree, I think there's 4 or 5 in the package. There's also little circles you can get at Dollar Tree, just kind of balsa wood like, that you can do. And you could paint this any color you want. I like these because they look like little feet. And I like them black. I keep them black. And, of course, when you do this, You would just have it out. They're a little big for this, but they work perfect with the, if you're making like a sock gnome or something like that. But you can use these for little feet also. You will also need to have some kind of fake fur, I almost forgot, which you can get at Joann, Hobby Lobby, or on Amazon. I sent for these, and they come like this, and I think there was 3 or 4 in there, and there was blonde and white in there. And if you're going to make a girl, I know a lot of them use this, but I prefer the yarn if you're going to do a girl and making braids out of the yarn. Okay, to start, you're going to need to make your pattern. I made this out of cardstock. You can just use paper if you need. And you're going to have a piece that is going to be 7 1/4 by 7 1/4, 2 inches across the top, and 6 inches with a little bit of a rounding at the bottom. And then you will need a 4 1/2 inch circle. Then you will be laying the pattern onto your felt pieces. And so you will just lay it on like this, you know, use as least amount that you have to, and your circle, and just cut those pieces out. Okay, next we're going to cut the hat, excuse me, and you want a piece approximately 12 by 10, so you want it to be 10 inches long, and I'm just going to mark that with my pencil here. So I'm going to cut from there, and then I want it approximately 12 inches. This is a little bit over 12 inches. This is 13, so I am going to bring this back just a little bit, because I do want it pretty well no larger than 12, but 10 was a little bit small on the gnome that I kind of put together a little bit. So this is 12 inches here. Okay, and one of the things you want to watch, you want to fold that piece in half. So you're going to have a 12 by 10 inch, and you want to fold that in half. Okay, I'm just going to not worry about this because it doesn't go through to the other side. But a lot of fabric that you buy does. This is going to show on the other side. So if you do have this, then you need to measure off the selvage. So I'm going to, again, go down to the 10 inches. Flip my pencil all over the place. So there's the 10 inches, and I'm going to do it the same on this side. And then I can measure it here. Kind of pin that together so that it doesn't go all wonky. This does not have to be perfect. Okay, and then we're just going to come from here, and we're just going to make a line up to the point like that, and then we're just going to cut that out. Now you can make this as wide as you want. I just thought I had made a 10-inch one, and it seemed to me that it was a little bit tight, and I would have liked a little bit more, especially when you're using cotton fabric that doesn't stretch. It is much easier to use fleece and felts and stuff like that because those are stretchy, but it's hard to find it in the Valentine fabric, so I did with this. Okay, so there, and then you have something that looks like this, and you're going to end up sewing it along here. Okay, for the arms, if you want to put the arms, you do not have to put arms, you do not have to put feet, you do not have to put hands. This is all extra. You need to have 2 pieces, approximately 5 by 2 inches. So just measure off your approximately 5 by 2 inches. So this is about 5, and I've got right at 4 inches there, so I'm doing pretty good there, and 5 here. One thing I will warn you about, now this piece, most of my felt is craft felt that I have bought on the bolt at Joann, and also the craft felt that you buy in the squares that is much heavier. This is something I got at Dollar Tree, and it's rolled up, and it is very, very thin. I actually added some quilt batting at the bottom of my my actual gnome body, and you might want to reinforce this with something too. But if you do put interfacing on it, then it's not going to stretch anymore, which you kind of want it to stretch for the arms. So you just want to cut these right at, I believe, 4 inches there, and I've got 4 inches here. So I just need to go straight down. And this too, it does not have to be exact. So this is basically where it is. So you can just kind of eyeball it. And then just take it and fold it in half. And then just right down the middle. And those will be your arms, and they will end up, we'll be sewing one side like this, and then they will come out like this, and we'll be putting pipe cleaners in them. We'll do all that later. So that piece, and then if you can either use beads for the little hands, or you can make yourself a little mitt like this. You just kind of trace around there, and then I've got a little bit of a squared off there, and like this. And I believe I'm probably, because it's really hard to sew these and turn them, so I'm probably just going to overcast them. So those are the parts you're going to need. You're going to need the hat, you're going to need this, and we will do shoes and stuff later. I'll do that towards the end because not everybody's going to want the shoes. So hopefully you can see this. I think I'll use the darker blue. So what we're going to do is we're going to pin. We're going to pin this together. And you can use a heavier stitch if you want on your machine, or just a straight stitch coming down. So I hope you can see this. I'm just going to take about 1/4 of an inch seam, and I'm going to back stitch that and remove my pins. Just check to make sure both sides are together. And back stitch. Clip that off. Find your matching bottom. And then you want to take and you want to go ahead and take this, and you're going to pin this all the way around. And pin it on whichever side is more comfortable for you to sew a circle, because this is a circle bottom. So just go ahead and pin that all the way around. If you need to, just stretch. The felt does stretch, so you can stretch it. And then just, I did it from the bottom again. I actually sew from the top. So then another 1/4 inch seam for that. And back stitch your beginning. And I usually like to open the seam. So just do that whole thing around in a circle. Just moving it as you go along. You can do this. I find it easier to go faster, and I get less little bumps. But if you feel more comfortable, then please just do it slowly. Just stop it and turn it. You can even lift up your needle and adjust if you need be, and then back stitch at the end. Okay, and then we'll grab the hat. And we are going to pin the hat the same way that we pinned the body. Just a couple of pins. I like to start at the bottom because the point is harder to start with. It sometimes catches in the machine. And again, I did it on the wrong side. Okay, and then you just want to sew that the same way. And same thing, make sure you back stitch at the beginning and the end. And then you have your arms, and you just want to take those together like this. And I'm telling you, this is really, really cheap felt that you get from Dollar Tree. I have some fabric I haven't really looked at yet either. And then we're going to sew these. About a 1/4 inch. I usually just use my end of my foot as a guide. And if it didn't get all the way on one side, that's fine, because we're just going to turn that anyways, okay. Okay, then what we want to do, now that we've got this sewn up, and I'm sorry if I did not get the circle part on the sewing machine, or on the sewing part. But anyways, what we want to do, you don't need to really worry about doing anything with seams or anything like that. We just want to turn everything right side out, which means the side that's pretty means the right side. And then some kind of a tool. I actually have a wooden spoon here because this is bigger. I do use chopsticks and stir sticks and things like that too. So just bring that through. And then just go around it. It'll all come out when you stuff it anyways. When you put the rice and stuff in it. Rice or poly pellets or whatever you use, beans. They always say don't use, if you live in an area where you have bug problems, then don't use food. But those poly pellets, I don't know, I thought I had sent for some, but I had not. They're fairly expensive. It's like $12 for, I think, a pound. And that isn't very much. I might take this and put this down some so I can put the pipe cleaner in there if I want. So you can turn this right side out, the hat. And for that I'm going to use something with more of a pointy stick because we have a pointy end here. Just be careful that you don't go through the fabric. So just get that point out there nice. And then you can hem this up. I did this on the other, I just hemmed it up. Or you can glue it hemmed if you want. I do everything on the sewing machine, so I will hem that up. Okay, for turning, I've got this little gadget. I'll show you it when I got this on, and I did get it on there, and you just... And it really does work quite well, and then just shove your... It's also easier if you sew one end up, and seeing you're not going to see one end, you could do that easily on these. Those arms are a little bit skinny. You might want to go 2 1/4 on the arms. Okay, so basically this has a hole in one side, and then it has a point, but it's not it's a blunt point, so that way it doesn't really take the fabric and tear it. So basically you want to get as close to the end as you can, and then just try to get that started. And once you get it started, see, then it just goes, and you got it. It's ideal, especially for small tubes and stuff. So I'm also going to put these kind of hands, which are cloth made out of felt, because those are the easiest for me. I don't like using clay. And you can also use little wooden beads to put into the inside of the hands right here. So you can use those also. But what I did is I made myself a little, I just shaped a little hand like a mitten, which is, you can just, you know, trace it on cardboard. And then I just cut the felt rather than doing it and cutting it out and then sewing it around. It's much easier if you take, here you can see this one better where I traced it. So I traced around the template that I made, and then I just went on and I used my stretch stitch. It's a tiny, tiny zigzag stitch, and it's very, it holds really well. So it's a really strong stitch. So I went around there, and then I just trimmed around. It's better with a smaller scissors. Here's my smaller scissors. So I have a smaller scissors right here. So just go around the whole thing. Just shape it. And these don't have to be perfect. And then you can just cut some of this. You can even make this, I kind of curved this in. You can make this so that it's straight there too, and it'll be more like a mitten, and then you can tie it on after you go ahead and put it on the hand after the hand is, or after the arm, put it on the arm after the arm is stuffed and everything. So then you want to just go in here. There's a little in here. You don't want to cut the thread, but you do want to open that up between the thumb and the top of the mitten so that you actually have a little cut like this. And then just take it. The easiest way I found was with the needle nose on these. And just stick your needle nose in there, get a hold of the top, and then just take it around. And then just take your chopstick or whatever you're using to turn it. And you will need something smaller than a wooden spoon for this. You could also probably push it out with your needle nose. You could do that too. Just use the tip closed, the needle nose, and just push it out if you don't have a stick. Now the needle nose only works, it works well in smaller stuff like this. It's not going to work as well in a something that's larger to turn. I'm sure you get the rounded part out good. And then you have this, and you end up with, I've already made several. So those are the hands. Okay, so this is the body I sewed up, and what you want to have is a funnel, and you want to have a cup, because I'm going to put 1 cup, and I am going to use rice because I don't really have a problem with bugs, knock on wood, hopefully never do. And we don't have a lot of bug problems, at least not here. Not in where I live now, in the desert. So I'm going to pour the 1 cup through a funnel. This back so you can see better. Into there. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. I don't know what's going on with my camera up there. Okay, so I put the 1 cup of rice in, and I'm going to cut just a little bit off the top here. Make it a little bit wider. So a little bit off the top here, and I'm just going to make it a little bit wider to put the stuffing in. And then this is some new kind of stuffing, and it is called, it's dry polyester packing. And I don't care as much for it as I do the regular stuffing. I'm not going to buy it again. I do get my stuffing at Walmart, but this packs more. It's got a little bit of a packing feeling to it. So we're just going to stuff this. Down into here. Easier with something that has a little bit more pull to start. One of the things I find real good for stuffing, including amigurumi, if you're a crocheter, is that gets it in there is the eraser on the pencil. Seems to get a hold of it. Good to get it started in there. So just use smaller pieces and start putting it in there. So I've got it pretty well stuffed. I think maybe just a little bit more. You want to get it nearly all the way to the top, because the top will also help to do your hat. So this is the front or the back. You can also put the beards right here and cover. If you're doing a beard, you can cover up, and that covers up pretty much all of the line, and then it leaves you a nice back, so that your back is smooth and you don't have any seams in the back. It still needs a little bit more, so make sure you get it stuffed well. Okay, and then this is where these rubber bands come in handy. So these are just those little rubber bands that you get at the little tiny ones, like for little braids, for corn rolls and stuff like that at Dollar Tree. You can buy those at Dollar Tree or Walmart or, wherever. And just wrap that around 2 or 3 times. Hope it doesn't break. Now, you will also have to, and you can put a little drop of glue if you're, if you want to glue it too, inside there. But put it inside. Don't put it on the rubber band, or the rubber band will break. And then you want to take some cord or something of that sort, and you want to tie the top up. I don't see my other right now, so I'll just do a bit of this. So I have a little bit of string here, and I'm just going to wrap it around really well. So you want to tie that really well, and then go to the other side and tie it there. Probably didn't need anywhere near this large of a or this long of a piece. I always take a lot more than what I need, and I hate wasting stuff, but that's where it goes sometimes. And then on your last one, when you're getting short on make sure you double tie it. And you might as well just use it, if you take a bigger piece, you might as well use it up on the top. So just double tie that, because you don't want to cut it off too short. So just tie that up and then cut it there. And then you have the body. Now I'm just going to pin stuff together here to show you how to do this. So say we were going to go ahead and do a beard. So we'll just take a beard. I have a beard. And this is just kind of a practice one, so most of the time they cut them round. So say I'm going to do a front one, so I'm just going to kind of eyeball it here, and I am going to use pins to pin all this stuff together. Okay, I have a couple pins here that I just took out of there. So you can round that beard like you normally do, which means to take the, like take a piece of a beard, and you just want to take it and make it round, like so that it has a little bit of round bottom. And it can be straight on top, or you can curve it a little bit around the nose also if you want. But just a curve like this was cut out as a beard. So like that. Okay, so for now I'm just going to put that there, and then I am just going to get a head. Okay, so for the arms, what we're going to do is we are going to make this, we're going to take the pipe cleaner and we're going to bend it in half. And we're going to twist it together all the way down. And then you can leave this open a little bit because that's going to go into the hand. And then we're going to bend this part over. Make sure you get those down good. And then we're going to stick this part through because this part might catch. So we're going to stick this through. It doesn't matter which end. This one looks like it's more of a top. So we're going to stick that down in there. And this is a little bit long by the time we put the hand on it, so we have plenty of room there to work with. So we're going to take this, and we want to make sure that we have the seam inside and thumbs up. So I'm going to take it inside, and I'm going to shove this pretty much inside of there. Now you can stuff this. I'll show you what it looks like stuffed. I'm going to close the door from the dogs. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of stuffing in here. Not too much. Just a little bit, and then maybe just a little tiny bit in the thumb. Okay, and then take your, make sure you got the side that you've let out a little bit. And just take that. And again, let's measure this and make sure that we've got it, and thumbs up. So we want it to go in this way. Just trying to get this down a little bit more. Don't want to glue anything until you're sure you got it where you want it. Okay, so we're doing this, and we're doing this. So make sure that you keep making it so that you make sure you got it on the right way. So here's you want to stick that in as far as you can. And if you don't, you can just stuff the thumb too if you want, and then not that part, and then just stick the pipe cleaner in there if you want. I don't know why this cat, see it, so that's what I mean about catching on the little part. You want to make sure to get that down better than I did. Okay, so there's that, and then like I said, I just put the rubber band around it before. Now it's probably just going to stay in there for the time being, but you can either glue that then in there or whatever you want. Then we're going to put the arm on. So you put the arm on like that, and then we'll do the other arm the same way. And again, make sure that you get it. I went ahead and pushed it all the way down. Like I said, you can glue. I'm not gluing anything right now because these are going to be kits for my grandkids and great-grandkids. And then just stick that in there. This one almost seems a little longer. Doesn't really matter because you're not going to see the top anyways. Yeah, I do have it all the way in. So you might want to, I mean, you might not, you want to glue that in, or you can just tie. But I would still put a little drop of glue, even after you tie it. I would put maybe a couple little drops of glue here and there to hold it in there. So like I said, this is a temporary thing. So now you just want to try to get them both the same, like this. And I do pin everything, and I bought some little pins like this. These are about 1 1/4 inch pins that I got at Walmart. You get a bunch of them for not too much money. And I got those, and I actually leave the pin in because it's going to be covered with the hat anyways. So right now I have everything temporarily on here. Okay, now this is the smaller hat, like I showed you before. So like I said, that was a little bit harder. Although this seems pretty good. My other gnome that I made might have been a little bit fatter. So, and I'm also, they can mix colors if they want. I'm going to put the hands together for the kits. I don't think I'm going to stuff them. I think I'm going to let them do the stuffing and stuff. But I'm going to put the hands and stuff together, and then they can pick different colors. And the same with the hats. There's several, like I showed you at the beginning, there's several different, so I will cut several different hats. And then with the noses, so I have a nose here, and I'm just going to pin that on for right now. And I'm going to use a longer pin. And these, like I said, these are these noses that Patty J. Good recommended, and I'm not sure. They're nice for this, and they'll be nice for the kids, and they are light. But I mean, once they're glued on, it might, make a big difference. But right now, I'm just going to kind of pin it on there at the top of the beard, and it will get glued on there, and then you will be gluing the whole thing together. So you will, I've got the nose a little bit off, but then you glued your arms on, and you have glued your nose on. You make sure that you measure the hat before you put the nose and glue it on, that you got it where you want. And then you're going to make sure that the hat, I prefer to put the hat over the arms and put the arms on first rather than sticking the arms up there. It's easier for me, but you can do either way. And then we'll put, we can put, this one needs a little bit more stuffing. So you can put the stuffing in the hat. You can also use pipe cleaners in the hat to make the hat stand up. And you can also use a little something if you want to put something on the top, a ball or something like that, inside there, whatever you want to do. So there he is with the stiff. I'm going to make this down a little bit more. And I'm going to line up the back here, kind of to the center. See, I've got the beard, like I said, I covered up the seam in the back, so you just have to kind of judge where the seam is. And then I just put my pin in there and just decided where I wanted it. And then to the sides. And this will come over like this. So this is more or less showing you how to make the kits if you want to do this with kits and stuff. That these pieces will be your kits, and then this is how you put the kits together. And then this up here, still got the stuffing for now. And then you can just, this can just come down. And then I was going to use this here. Apparently this is all separate. I didn't know it fell apart or was apart like this. So this will all have to be glued on so this kind of sticks there, but it will have to be glued together. And then there's a little jewel here that will have to be glued in. So apparently it's separate in there. So, and then you can also, you can put a little pom-pom right here at the end of his hat, like that. Or I have these little hearts, which I thought looked pretty cute, at the end of his hat. Or any other little heart that you have, even the little foam hearts that you can, that stick on. And then I'm just going to put this in his hand, so make sure you don't cover his nose up here. So he'll just hold that in his hand like this. So that's basically how I'm putting these kits together, and they should be hopefully pretty simple for the kids to do. I'm sure the adults won't have any problems with them. So if you like what you see, then please give me a like. And I always enjoy comments. I don't get very many, but if you want to comment, that's fine. And even if there's something you want to critique or, tell me that something's wrong, that's fine. So that's how people improve, even at my age. So just go ahead and leave any comment, and that would be great. And then if there's anything else you want to see, I do amigurumi too. I have a couple crochet videos up, but I just finished this for a friend, and it's Alice in Wonderland, and then I'm working on the white rabbit, a little tiny white rabbit that she'll hold in her hand. So anyways, have a wonderful day, and keep safe.